Welcome to the Smoke Learning channel. This set of videos focus on tracking. The previous video looked at tracking a mask as an object over a background. Let's push the tracking to be more granular and examine how to track the control points of a mask to change its shape over time. This is useful for tracking shapes that change over time. If you would like to follow along, please click the link in the YouTube description to download the media. If you are watching the podcast version of this video, then type the link displayed in your internet browser. For this example, we will reuse the same car shot as the last example. But this time, we will mask the headlamps and add a glow to them. This could be the start of creating a day-to-night effect, or simply if you wanted the headlamps on instead of off. For whatever reason, this will help you learn the workflow of tracking mask control points. Select the segment and add a Connect Effects. Press one left arrow to hide the media panel. In the Connect Effects node bin, press G and drag a Gmask node into the connection. Double-click the Gmask for its controls. Click the result viewer to select it. Now at this point, you can click Add and start drawing your own mask on the right headlamp. However, to speed things up a bit, I have already made one for you. Click the Load button under the Gmask header. In the file browser, navigate to the folder containing the downloaded media for these exercises. Select Masks Headlamp 1. This will load up the mask for the first headlamp of the car. Hovering over the result viewer, press F1 to see the background with the mask outline. Scrubbing the time bar, you can see that the mask is only positioned for the first frame. Select the Gmask node in the Connect Effects schematic and press Escape to see the Gmask schematic. Now in the previous example, we were selecting the Axis node to perform the mask object tracking. Since the actual shape of the mask is kept in the Geom node, control point tracking is done here. Now zoom into the mask in the result viewer. Note the positioning of each control point as they are tied to the tracker boxes in the stabilizer. So hold Command and draw a box selection around all the points. The stabilizer will only work with selected control points. This stabilizer button on the right is for control point tracking. It only has one extra option underneath it: Adjust Off and Adjust Tangent. Adjust Tangent will adjust the tangents as the control points move with the track. In most cases, I found that this distorts the shape unnecessarily, so I prefer to set the adjustment to Off. Click the Stabilizer button. You will notice straight away that the control points that are selected are now tracker boxes. So you could have hundreds of trackers if you selected hundreds of control points. I must reiterate that the position of the tracker boxes will be identical to the control points. So if you move a tracker to a different location for a track, it will move the control point when you go back to the mask. This can be fixed after you return to the mask, and we will look at this shortly. For now, the tracker boxes should be good to go on frame 1, so press Analyze. With the track complete, you can return back to the Mask tool. Scrub the time bar and you will see the mask shape match the headlamp. Now here is one potential pitfall you need to be aware of. When the track is performed and applied to the control points, the tangents are keyframed on every frame. So if I adjust a tangent and scrub the time bar, you will see a change happen only on the frame I changed. There are two ways to fix this. You could go diving through loads of animation channels, which could be problematic. Or you could do the following. I'll undo the change I made. Now on the first frame, I will click this button labeled Constant Shape. This will remove all the animation keyframes except for the current frame. So now the shape will always be constant, but we don't want that. Turn the Constant Shape button off. You can now adjust the tangent, and the setting will stick throughout the composite. To reapply the tracking data is easy. Simply Command select all the control points again. Go into the stabilizer, and Smoke will remember the last setting for the selected control points. You could have also saved this as a safety backup. You don't need to retrack anything. Simply exit the stabilizer, and the tracking will be applied to the selected control points again. So things are very easy to fix. I'll just undo all the changes until I have my original tracked shape again. Now, if you wanted to move the control points, even though they have tracking data, you need to do it in a specific way. If you just use the regular Select tool in the Tools menu, you will land up with the same situation as the tangents. So click on the Tools menu and change the option to Trans Keys. Now you can select and move the control points. When you scrub the time bar, the control point's original tracking data will still be applied. So this is how you can offset control points after tracking them in the stabilizer. Now select the result view and fit it to the window. You can create the other headlamp as an exercise, but I have also provided the mask for that headlamp as well. Click the Load button and select Mask Headlamps 2. This is already tracked into the shot using the same techniques. Now let's glow the headlamps. Press the Home button to reset the views and the default layout. In the ConnectFX node bin, drag out a glow node. Connect the car into the front input and the Gmask output into the matte input of the glow node. Double-click on the glow to see its controls. You can play around with this to get the headlamp effect you want. I have also provided a quick setup just for fun. Click the Load button on the right of the interface. In the same Download folder, load the glow headlamp setup for the node. Ensure you connect the glow node into the CFX output node. So there you have it. Exit ConnectFX and press Render. As a final point about mask tracking in general, you can do a combination of object tracking and control point tracking to speed up your masking process quite a bit. So here is the final result playing back in the viewer. For our final example, you see how to deal with the tracker boxes going off screen or reference patterns moving out of sight. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Smoke Learning channel for future videos.